So good morning. It is Wednesday, August 5th. It's currently 8:32 or 8:33 now. Today is orientation day, so I'm pretty excited and nervous because it's just nerve-wracking, which I gotta get my coffee before it starts. So I'm currently waiting for the Zoom meeting to start, but I'm pretty excited. And yeah, I got everything done because we were supposed to do like 10 steps before orientation, so I got that done. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Let's see how we do. Let's go. I'm pumped. I logged into the Zoom meeting at 8:33, and so this whole time it's 8:50 something now. It still gives me the message that I'm waiting for the host to let me in, and I'm low-key having an anxiety moment because I feel like I did not do something right. Well, those are the thoughts that I'm currently having, that I messed up, I didn't follow the directions right, or I'm in the wrong link. So the email they sent yesterday was people who joined before 8:55, like something was gonna happen, like a chance to win something. So I'm thinking, well, it's already about to be 8:55. Oh my god, it's on. Never mind guys, false alarm. It was just my anxiety because I'm in here. Oh yeah, okay, bye. Hello, so it's Sunday, August 9th, and today I'm hoping to make a quick video about my new student orientation experience. So shout out to Jennifer because she's the one who actually requested I do a video about my orientation experience. So hopefully I can, in a nutshell, explain really quickly how it went and what were my thoughts. So shout out to Jennifer again. She's starting her master's program this month as well at Cal State Long Beach, so you got this. We're about to enter a new chapter in our lives. But anyways, let's move on. So as you saw in my previous little video that I just showed you, I was really nervous about orientation. So in the moment, you have nobody, well, I don't have anybody that I know in the program as a new incoming Master of Social Work student. So it's very difficult during, this pandemic because everything's online. So everything's through Zoom, everything's through emails, Blackboard, and everything. So it's really hard to connect with people at the moment because you don't really know anybody. So for orientation, I was freaking out because we had 3 different Zoom links. We had the new student orientation link, which started at 8:30. We had the post Q&A link, and we had a part-time student link, basically. So we had 3 links, and I knew that I was certain I was in the right link, but when you don't see it, or when you're just overthinking, you have anxiety, or you think you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And obviously it's mandatory to attend this orientation, so I'm just like, I was freaking out basically. I was like, oh my gosh, hopefully I'm in the right place, blah 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 blah. So prior to orientation, we were given a student checklist. So basically this was part of the checklist, and so it has all the steps and all the information that they're asking you and blah blah blah. So I thought that they did a great job in doing a checklist. So basically it looks like this. I don't know if you can tell, but it has the steps on this side, and they had us check initial and date the time, the date that we actually completed that. So there are 10 steps and technically an 11th step, but that one we were supposed to do after the orientation was over. So for us at Dominguez Hills, for the Master of Social Work program, we were supposed to do the 10 steps prior to orientation, which the steps were: step 1, do Blackboard training; step 2, Zoom links for new student orientation; step 3, Zoom training; step 4, library training; step 5, go over the 2020 and 2021 MSW student handbook; step 6, do RAISE training; step 7, Title IX training; step 8, review the NASW presentation video; Step 9, on this step we had to do 5 mini steps because we had to upload 5 different forms into Blackboard to complete the MSW department forms. Step 10, field education COVID-19 training and acknowledgement of risk form. So because we are, during a pandemic, the full-time students are starting their internships or practicum hours this semester already. So they had to, fill out the COVID-19 risk forms and all that. So part-time students, I'm a part-time student, so we did have to complete it, but it didn't really matter. I just wrote first year part-time student because this doesn't pertain to me, because part-time students start their internship their second year in the program. So and the last 11th step, which was after orientation, was to complete the new student orientation evaluation. And we also had to complete our student ID form and upload a picture with it, since we can't take our ID pictures in person. So those were the 10 steps that we had to do prior to orientation. So I had completed all the 10 steps. I did have a question in regards to the library training and the COVID-19 risk form. And I had 2 questions because when I did the training for the library videos, only one of them actually gave me a certification form that I could upload into Blackboard. So I was just anxious because they used the plural word of certificates instead of certificates. So I was like panicking. So anyways, I got my answer and it was okay. And then the COVID-19, I was a little curious if I had to upload it because I was a part-time student, but we did. So anyways, those were the 10 steps. I can go into depth for each step if y'all want me to, so let me know. I don't really want to talk about each step because it's longer and I don't want this video to be super long. But that was what we had to do prior to orientation. So for orientation, we had an agenda and it looks like this. So basically this agenda, we really followed this agenda. So the first thing was to sign in. So them on their own, they already noted down who was present in the presentation, and then they did a welcome and introduction of faculty and staff. So professors that were able to attend that meeting got to introduce themselves, and then those who weren't able to attend the meeting, we were able to see their pictures, and their fellow colleagues were able to talk and speak a little bit more about each professor. After that, we talked about critical race studies. So this presentation was given by some alumni and current students of the program. So it's one of the main key components of the Dominguez Hills Master's program is that their foundation to our whole program is basically going off the critical race theory. So we went over that. We also went through a field education overview and the NASW Association. So they talked a little bit more about what's expected and just a little more details in regards to that. So after that, by then it's around 10ish in the morning, and we got a presentation by the board members of the Graduate Association of Social Workers. And basically it's an organization on campus that promotes social justice events. They bring in speakers and little things like that. So I believe part-time students, we pay annually, I believe $10 to be a member, and then I think $15 or $20 if you're full-time. Don't quote me, I forgot the price, but basically they went over that. We had a little stretch break, but in between that, it was not noted on the agenda, but we did have a breakout session with 3 people in each breakout room. So I had an alumni in my group, and then a full-time student in the program, and myself. So we had 3. We had to introduce ourselves, tell us, we shared our name and an interest. So that was interesting, very nerve-wracking, but during this pandemic it's really hard getting to know your classmates or peers because you're not in person with them. So you have to put yourself out there. I know my work supervisor has she's a LCSW, so she's a licensed clinical social worker. So she's very excited for me. So she's been telling me, like, you have to put yourself out there. Like, it's gonna be very hard for you to make those connections. So knowing that at the back of my head, I'm already throwing myself out there and trying to not be shy, even though I am super shy. But you know, it's a new experience, so I'm really excited for it. So anyway, so we did a stretch little break, and then after that we went over the pre-orientation module requirements, academic advisement, and campus resources. So Dr. Mapson, she basically went over all those details. Then it was at this point maybe 11:35ish, because we went a little overboard. Something had happened, so everyone got kicked out of the Zoom because they linked the email of whoever the host was with the part-time presentation. So Zoom automatically kicked everybody out because it was time to start the new link for the host. So I was panicking. I'm like, oh my god, like, what do I do? So then at that point I knew we had a part-time student separate link that started at 11:30. So that's where I went to next. I was like, okay, maybe they started the other one. And so I clicked on the part-time student link and it was waiting for host, and I'm like, okay, like, why isn't it starting? So then I went back to the first link for orientation, and then it says host is currently at a different meeting. So I was like, what the heck, you know? Anyways, I think I took like 5 minutes doing back and forth the links to see who was gonna let me in. So basically everybody had to go back to the original first link because they weren't done with the presentation. So we weren't able to break into our part-time Zoom link yet because they weren't done. So anyways, that happened, a little panic attack. So anyways, so they finished the presentation, and then we were able to go into the part-time Zoom link. So the part-timers we really didn't get to meet, but oh, before I forget, we had a second breakout room for 40 minutes actually, prior to breaking out into the third Zoom link, or prior to us breaking out into part-time and full-time students. So in that breakout room, I think there was more than 15 people in it. And so maybe I'll add some clips about that. So who else is nervous? Because I'm like anxious, so hi.
Yeah, I'm nervous because everything's gonna be online, so it's different.
I got to meet a few people. It was really, everybody had questions, and I felt okay because we were all kind of on the same boat of, like, you know, nervousness and everything. But anyways, I got to meet some folks. No one really exchanged emails or numbers necessarily because we were all just like talking about orientation, the modules and things, and how to do things. And most of them were full-time students, so I think I won't even like see them anymore because they're full-time students. So anyways, it was pretty fun time getting to know them and just putting, again, yourself out there. And then finally, again, like, so when we went into our part-time, they basically explained financial aid and how to register for classes. So for part-time students, we are partnered up with the education something department, so we register differently. So how we register as part-time students with Dominguez Hills is that we have to manually call this department that I'm forgetting the name of right now. We have to call and we have to register for our classes. I don't know if it's because we're first-time people at Dominguez Hills, or maybe we can do it on our own next time for next semester, but for now we have to call and we have to say that we want to register. So they sent us an email after orientation with the sections that I am going to be in for this fall. So when I call, I'm gonna say I'm a first-year MSW student, give them my ID number and my email, and let them know what sections I'm in. I think they have the list too, but just for my reference, I'll have it on me too, just in case they ask me questions about that. But that's how I have to register for classes at Dominguez Hills, which kind of caused a lot of confusion with everybody because I was trying to read the room and a lot of people had questions, and you can see the faces were kind of confused about it. But yeah, so I don't have to. So usually when you register for classes, you go to the student center and you know, pick out your classes, you put them in your enrollment shopping cart, and then when you have your enrollment dates and times, then you just, you know, check out. But for us, we have to manually call. So I haven't called yet because we have to pay up front. So I was waiting for my money. So my plan is to call tomorrow and register for classes. Now that I have my money, which I can talk about financial aid in a different video too, because that's a lengthy video. But yeah, so that's how orientation went. It was very long. At the end of the orientation, I was really exhausted mentally. There was so much information, but yeah, I mean, it went well. Class starts next Saturday, my first class with the part-time program, and so we have Saturday classes from 8 to 12 and then from 1 to 5. So that should be fun. I'm excited, and I still don't have my classes yet, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. But pretty much that's how orientation went. We had 2 breakout rooms. Key suggestion, throw yourself out there. But yeah, that's how orientation went. I was really pumped in the morning, but at the end I was so tired. There was so many like information that they gave us for part-time students at the end, so it was just so much to process in the moment. So now that I've been able to process that, because it's been like 4 days, I feel confident and excited to continue my journey in the program. And like I said, during a pandemic, everything's different, especially going into a new university and campus. So the faculty seem like everyone's doing their best, and the students are doing the best. We're doing the best, you know, throughout this time. But yeah, that was my student orientation experience. I don't know, if anybody watches these videos, please let me know if you have any questions that I can answer, or anything else that you guys want me to talk about. But hopefully this video is helpful to whoever is watching. I didn't want to make it too long, but I see that it's already longer than I anticipated. But I don't know, I like sharing my story and my thoughts, and they usually go for so long. So anyways, so hopefully everybody's safe and healthy during this pandemic. I know there's a lot of things going on. Be very mindful and open about a lot of things. But yeah, let me know if you have any other questions regarding the MSW program at Cal State Dominguez Hills, even though I am a first year student there during a pandemic. So anyways, I'm excited. So happy Sunday, happy Sunday, and see you all soon.